All right. Okay, testing. Hey. Testing, testing, testing. What? Why am I... Oh, okay. Let me... Testing. Oh, wow. That's loud. Okay, we're good. All right. How are folks doing? Me. All right. So, I'm going to be pulling up the poll and everything. Let's go ahead and... Twitch is there. All right. So, first things first, we did 2 companion polls here. And let me... Okay, that didn't look good. Okay. All right. So, we were choosing between using singular or plural forms. And this is an interesting result, but it ended up very clear. We ended up with dawn. We wanted the singular forms, and dusk, the plural forms, which is a very interesting result. I kind of like it that way. I like that we are... I don't know if the people voting coordinated that. Um, like um, like it's multiple people who are voting exactly in that way, singular in one, plural in the other. But it is interesting because, for one of the plural forms in dusk actually has one of the distinct sounds of dusk, the theta, right? So jithja, jithja, jithja. Whereas this is not very distinct, so then you go with the singular forms in dawn and you get that, and you get the jishu, jishu and jihe versus jisja and ji, ji, jisja, jisja and ji, 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 ji. It's really hard to do. Just the z, zi, jisja, jisja, and ji versus jishu and jihe. Okay, so I am happy with the result of that poll. And let me set up my keyboard. Oh, so okay. P. Oh, your current language is giving you pronunciation problems. I think this is that it is a universal conlanger issue of struggling to pronounce the language that you created. There we go. Because like yesterday I was recording something where I had to do a long text in Ndakaga. And Ndakaga is not that difficult. Like it doesn't have like the crazy vowels of the Fae languages, and it's um the phonotactics are pretty simple. It's a little difficult to get my head around doing initial stress on super long words, but I was struggling with it. It was very difficult, and my delivery ended up being kind of like just unnatural. I think I'm just out of practice with Ndakaga. Or maybe I need to do something for warm up. I can do like something that I've practiced a lot. I can do better. Well, like I have memorized the dragon monologue, and I could just do that on command now, and it sounds pretty natural. That's why I use that as an example in my the review video of the Inventing Languages book, because I'm like I didn't even write it in the script. I just wrote in the script demonstrate with dragon monologue, and I just did like the first it's like the first two lines. I think it's just the first line. What nda kaga ife da ide ibeke kaga if agu betupecha. It also helps that I not only have practiced that a lot, but I have internalized what the words mean. So I can make sure that my intonation follows appropriately with the words. It's something that actors who do work in conlangs talk about is like it helps them if they're not doing it purely phonetically, if it's pointed out to them like what words mean what, because they also need to like practice it and do the proper intonation with correct words, right? um anyway, so we're going to do so so how do we want to do that? So we ended up with jisja, jis, jisja, 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 and ji. Now that I'm hearing theta, because I wonder if. Okay, let me fix that. The thing that I'm curious about, actually, thinking about this, is I wonder if the reason that theta, the sound, is is rarer, a rarer sound, is because it is weak. Um, it is kind of difficult to articulate. That might be one thing that contributes, but also it's just a weak sound. If you look at it on a waveform, um, it's hard to spot because the noise is very low. It's very low intensity noise. Um, and it could easily be mistaken for or like a five or an H. Yeah, because it's ugly too. I don't think it's ugly. I like the sound. I like the sound. I have no problem with that. Um, I just think I just think we used to have an overuse of it in certain types of conlangs because people didn't realize how rare it is. Greetings. On the other side of the coin, have you ever run into issues where, for example, there are two similar sounding words that almost sound the same? Okay, and okay. Um, that happens a lot. Actually, I just mentioned on the Discord um where, because of the way my dictionary is set up, I had I I had been looking at the words for cloud or fog and sun, and I was like, are those homophones? But actually no, that's just an artifact of the way my proto-reptilian entries are set, and I was looking at the wrong thing. They are different in Ndakaga. I'm talking about Ndakaga. Sun is Appa and cloud is Abba. So Appa and Appa. And those are distinct enough, but I was mentioning, like, maybe in Descendants that's one of those is going to get replaced because they are getting pretty close, and their homophones are not necessarily a problem, but something you will see in Natlangs is if you have two homophones in the same domain, they are more likely to get replaced. They're not necessarily. Oh, and Jisha might be distinct from Jisha. I mean, that could happen. In this particular language. Oh yeah, that could happen. Um, in fact, I was thinking about, like, here and there in both of these. Here in Dusk, it's not a problem so much because we have Ji, um, Ji and Jija are pretty distinct, um, just because of the different number of syllables and everything. Um, when we go to Dawn and the choice that we made there, so we go here and 继续 and 继续 That's still pretty distinct. Okay. I was a little bit unsure about, like, these look like they are related, because the locative has this this element to it, the G element, that I think comes from one particular source, right? Um yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, context and usage will correct for homophony, absolutely, Carl. The but like, there are times when two words that are in a very similar domain get close enough that speakers decide to differentiate by replacing one of them. And that's something that I think some descendants of Nakaga might have do with the sun and cloud. But, it doesn't have to happen. But I was actually thinking here, like, here and there are looking kind of similar. And um with this one, um like, if for some reason this ending got lost, then we end up with G and G. Um and that would be super similar. But then I was thinking, well, I mean, Spanish has eso and esto, right? It's not a new thing for demonstratives to be very, very similar in languages. So that's not an issue. Anyway, we need to get going because I'm going to be cutting off a little early. I promised my girls that I would watch something that's live. So let's jump into the Sylvan notes. Oh, okay. Yes. Mandarin has a lot of homophones, a lot of homophonic characters. Just because it has so few legal syllables. But you have the compounds which differentiate it. I need to turn on my light so you guys can see my face better. I do get annoyed with people making the argument of, oh, Mandarin, the reason Chinese still uses a logographic system is it needs it because of all the homophones. It doesn't. It's not a necessary thing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not, in practice, it's not a problem. Chinese people talk to each other orally all the time. Context, Phoenix, context is everything in every language, not just in Chinese. But, like, I understand where the argument comes from, but I fundamentally disagree. I don't think that Chinese needs to have that. Let's not to say, but don't get it twisted. I am not saying that Chinese should abandon its logography. I think that is something for, like, a culture to self-determine. And there are plenty of cultural arguments for keeping it. And I don't think that the practicalities are as negative. I used to think differently on this. I used to be of the opinion of, oh, why don't they just use a phonetic system? But as I've gotten older and I've also learned about how language works as a cultural marker, I'm like, you know what? The It's not my business, and I don't think the negatives are all that good, because with a solid education system, China and Taiwan have gotten really good, decent, they've gotten good literacy rates. Um, this is okay, yeah. So I would argue. So Juno says I would argue that Hanzi sticking around is twofold. It works well for Chinese, and Chinese people are proud of Hanzi. Um, it's a simpler way to say it, but I agree in principle. I think that um the history and cultural ties to it are very important, right? So that that's my opinion on it. It's like, and at the end of the day, it's none of my business. I'm not a native Chinese speaker. I am not. Nobody is asking me, and there's not really a huge problem being solved if you switch to a phonetic system. The choice of the choice of writing system is mostly a political decision. Yeah. Yeah. I will say that the kanji in Japanese is a lot more complicated to deal with than Hanzi in Chinese. But again, that's not my problem. I don't even speak Japanese, so I'm not going to uh question that culture's choices. This is just not what I'm interested in. Okay. So here, okay, I start working on a poll and just abandon that? Let's go down through these, because I don't think that, like, in my dialect split, I can jump here really quick and see, did I do anything? I did talk about the passive and anti-passive, right? But we're doing subordination today, and I do not think I did that. So here's so okay. Yeah. Here is what we were working with. Let's just look at complement clauses here. Okay. I'm confused. So twae, 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 right? Twae. For some reason, the complement clause does not have this, and I don't know why that happened. Let's look at the resultative. Okay. Bup, bup, p, Kutuchtreasi. Okay, so this is interesting. This looks like this is a locative. I have to like sort out. We go here. Yeah. So our previous sort of trying to reconstruct what I had planned initially. It looks like we nominalize this with Twaya, and then we can add case marking. So I think my first thing to do is to grab some verb roots. And so you guys can see. Oh, that's so and then do I have verbs marked as just verb here or so let's grab some of these. How many verbs do we have? We have 42 verbs in this language already. So let's just grab a bunch of them. Um, that you guys can't see yet. Okay, so give me a second here. Sorry, a second. Um, I need to go and uh, silence things. What is? What is my? Where is that? Hmm. I'm getting a Discord sound from somewhere. I don't know where. Is it actually the Discord? Yeah. Um, it's got to be just from that. If I don't have it up open in a browser. So let's see. I don't know why I still have the Discord app. I never use it. Um, okay, so what we're gonna do? I actually so I don't know if this was my original intention. But like I'm looking at this and I'm like, I just copied over all these Middle Fae forums. I'm like, wait, should I go to the Edamon? And I'm like, no. Let's say that this nominalizer attached in the Middle Fae stage, and this was like a Middle Fae way um of doing subordinate clauses. How did Elder Fae do it? I don't know. I don't care. I think I've said before, your proto language does not have to be fully fleshed out, but this will give us. Um, let's get Excel open, and then if we just say this, um, hey, right? Is that weird? No, 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 no. No. So the thing is, the way that stress works, this should be stressed, but that means we need to remove the stress markers. So let me quickly look up how I can do that. There we go. Okay. Okay, we could substitute. What is? What is the code? What's clean? Oh, okay, that's not what I want. Jake, what is Jake? We know who you are. What are you introducing yourself like this for? Is this actually Jake? Okay. This is okay, this is weird. Okay, I don't know that I actually need that. I think if I can. So let's see what happens if I do this. Substitute A2 and got it. Got it. Okay. So head initial is difficult. Okay, I've got that. Hey, there should be no equal there. Ah, I need an apostrophe, right? There we go. So let's look at just what that base form looks like when we use it. So import well, we do dawn and then dusk. Dusk. So let's take a look. If you shui, subtwai, chut, 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 twai. Okay, that needs to be fixed. That needs to be, this one needs to be fixed in sound changes because I don't want that to happen. Oh yeah, so SpecCon, they're coming next week. And you guys are gonna stream SpecCon, right? What time does that start? I have to. Yes, we are making languages, Koto. This is what I do. I need to figure out how to make this better. Oh no, I've got the wrong thing. Okay. Soit, toi, tu, toi. So here's the question I have. Do we want occasional just occasional gemnets to pop up like this? Because we killed other gemnets. However, I think we could tolerate having gemnets added in this case because of it being a late edition. Well, okay. There are a lot of places to think about where to start, Koto. There's a lot of like communities out there that will help you. If you can afford something like it, this book is a great place to start. Um, Otherwise, I'm going to be looking at. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking at free resources to learn. I know that there are there's like the language construction kit is still out there, and there are like free intro linguistics courses you can look at. Um, I eventually plan on doing an intro YouTube series, but hopefully that helps you get started. I think I'm going to keep these gemnets. Oh yes, Conlang Year. That's actually probably the best like free option to start with. Hold on. Uh, why did I do switch to chatting mode? I just go. So there we go. This is where you want to go. I will. That is, if you want to have a place to start that will guide you through the whole process, that is a place to go. Yeah, Discord link is in the description if you want to join. But yeah, um, if you want that, it's day by day. It's meant to be started on January 1st, but you can start it whenever you want, and you can go through that. So, okay, so we're going to think about ça fait soir, ci soir, quoi toi. Okay. Now I had the implication was that case forms could apply to this. So I'm going to also have we're going to jump into, I think actually what I'm going to do is, where does this twi come from? Where does twi form come from? It's actually this. So if we have Elder Fae, where do I go to that? If we have Elder Fae, twa. So that's interesting. I love how people are jumping to help someone who's new to the thing. That's exactly the kind of thing I like to see. So we had twae, and then we end up with twa. Twae. Let's see if we replace that and make it twa. Right? That would be a different form, right? Let's actually make it I'm going to do a comparison. Shui, shui, shui. Okay, shui. So if we take a look, fufi shui, fui shui versus fui shui. I don't know, guys. I kind of like that better. And fufi shui. Okay, now we go with that. What happens? Let's go with that, and then we go grab the case forms. Ishiu and Ati, and see what happens there. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually remove this. This is going to actually just be come on. Yeah. And then if I did that right, and then what do you mean? Oh, I messed up. Okay. This needs to be stable. There. And then okay. What are people saying? Okay. We're all talking about the so about the Discord stuff. About the Discord stuff. I have considered moving my community to something like Fluxor 2. The thing is, like, Discord still has the network effects. So it's kind of hard to pull away from it. The other thing is that Discord has um, special integrations with Patreon. So that's the reason that I personally kind of feel stuck with putting the Conlangery community on Discord. Um, I have been thinking about opening up the like community post thing on YouTube. Would people like to have that open so that you can basically you would make posts directly on my YouTube page, and that could be like sort of a forum for the channel. Swedish solo dev. Okay, yeah, yeah. So I watch a lot of like tech reviews, and there are a bunch of Discord alternatives emerging. The thing is, the Patreon integration is really beneficial to me. Um, okay, so we're going to look at all of these forms in Dawn and Dusk. And if we go, hey, something weird is going on with my keyboard. And I have a prediction, but I just want to take a look at them before I have a prediction as to what I actually will want. But let's actually just sit down and look at forms. So this base form is, of course, going to be oh, okay. Fufi Shuaihu. So this form gets super heavy with verbs, right? Fufi Shuaihu. Sabduaihu. Chut This is definitely going to harmonize. Twashi. Yeah. Fufi Shuashi. Sabtwashi. Sab Chris Shuashi. Puchi Shuashi. Kashwashi. Okay. So, Chish, Chiashi. And here we go. Fifi Swash. Fifi Swash. I think let's actually change one thing about this. One thing about this. Now, I have a regular deletion of this in Middle Fae. So I think we can just do that. And see if that will make things more consistent with other descendants of locative forms. Right? So, Fufi Swa. Sabtois, Tsutois, Clissois. Okay. Fufichua, Fufichua, Sabtois, Chutois, Clissois. Okay. Interesting. Shue, 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 shue. Interestingly, like chutua, chutue. So this becomes chutue. But down here it becomes chutua. Chutue versus chutua. Chutua. That's interesting. Yeah. Juno, I'm glad you're enjoying Jesse's book. Everybody should get that. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have to end early, do I? Checking something. Okay, I actually don't need to end early. I thought I was going to have to end early, but I can just go. Oh, what is Ho Chunk? What is Ho Chunk? Okay, I have a Ho Chunk book here. Ho Chunk is an indigenous language. It's an indigenous language spoken in the area I live in southwestern Wisconsin. There are also Ho Chunks in a reservation in Nebraska. Um, it's called Winnebago is an exonym that's also used for them, but they don't like it. But the reservation is the Nebraska Winnebago reservation, I think. But um, the homeland of the Ho Chunk is right here in around Madison, Wisconsin, which they call Dejop, which is Four Lakes, and that it's a Siouan language. Um, I think it's an early split from the Siouan language family. An early split from the Siouan family, and I took an informal course from an elder for a little while, but I kind of had to stop because of I didn't have the energy for it. Yeah, Dejo, because there are like 4 major lakes around Madison, and so that's what they call it. Yeah, Suin, Suin. So it's actually written Suin as the language family, but yes, it's a Siouan language. Um, um, yeah. So it's I reference it a lot because I know some things about it. Um, an interesting feature, and I don't know if other Siouan languages have the same thing, but it has positionals. So just like how are you? If I ask you how are you, um, if you are sitting down, I say Johnny Skishanunk, right? Which nunk um is the like sitting positional. If you're standing up, I say Johnny Skiraje. So um and lying down, I can't remember, but there's sitting, standing, and lying down, and it's super interesting because like it applies. It's obligatory in certain situations, and um, when you deal with like inanimate objects, it gets interesting figuring out which one applies. Yeah. Um, it also has so there is polypersonal agreement. There's a couple interesting things. It's got like the intransitive verbs can be um I forget what the terms for it, but like the the it's like a sort of a split S situation where some verbs will take the agent marking, some intransitive verbs will take the agent marking, some will take the patient marking. And another thing is like um those agreement markers mark for person, but number is marked with a separate agreement marker on the verb that just says one of the arguments is plural. At least one of the arguments is plural. And so that's something I might try to use in a language at some point. Um. Anyway, the just a couple of interesting features, but yeah, I learned a little bit of Ho Chunk. Not very much. I can say how are you. Um. I can say hello. I can say one thing about the course and the materials. This is the teaching materials is one thing. The actual book that we had for the course, which I don't know where it is, um, was clearly written with Ho Chunk in mind, like with Ho Chunk people in mind to teach them, right? And one thing it had is they had a chapter of what is your Ho Chunk name, Ho Chunk Rashtra, and what is your um, clan. Well, as uh, a as someone who is not Ho Chunk, as a white person, what they call Maihire, um, which literally translates like big knife. I don't know. It's unclear exactly where that comes from. Um, she learned just enough Mandarin in high school to say French high and forget how to say French try and say shutiao. Okay, that's funny. No, but the Ho Chunk materials, they said, what is your Ho Chunk name? As a Maihide, I don't have it planned, and I don't have a proper Ho Chunk name. I would be referred to as either my English name or my birth order name, which is just like there's a list of names for uh, boys or girls depending on their order of birth in the family. So foreigner non Ho Chunk don't get Ho Chunk names. So that's just how it is. Okay, so here's the situation. Tahtua. Tahtua. There are a handful of situations. I'm going to have to fix this. This should not happen, I don't think. There are a handful of situations where these forms are different in Dusk, but they seem to merge most of the time. With Dawn, there's significantly more Hashue, Hashwa. There's significantly more situations in Dawn where they're different. Mainly this a. So that is a factor to think about. Okay. So Dakota possibly doesn't have positional classifiers at all. That's interesting. So Juno, here's the thing. You can choose your Mandarin name. Now, my I need to stop doing digressions, but this will be my last digression for a little bit. But I'll just say, so my teacher called me. Let's see if I can type this. Ke, yeah, Ke Qiao. Now the thing is, Qiao. So that is Ke. Oh, what the heck happened there? Okay, Ke Qiao. Now the thing is, I didn't like that because Qiao Zhi is literally just how you transliterate George, right? Xiao Zhi is just George. However, I went to China and I went to specifically to Suzhou. And this was for a summer. Then I spent a semester in Hangzhou. So this is southern China. I think it was in Suzhou. There were some aunties, and in southern China Chinese, this zh is often alternates with the so you could have qiao zi, right, because that's just like neutralizing the retroflex, right? What the heck? Z, 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 Z. Whoa. What happened there? What? Oh, I just scrolled? Okay. So they started calling me this. Which is jiaozi, jiaozi. Which, if you are not familiar, jiaozi is I can. It's easier if I get a jiaozi. Is specifically this style of dumplings, right? Either steamed, boiled, or fried, but this particular style with the thin skin. Yeah, gyoza is the Japanese reflex, and it's the same thing basically. Um, so gyoza, I don't know what the Korean is. Um, yeah. So that is the name that I went by for years. Is kejiaozi. Um, Even at my wedding, um, at my wedding, um, when we did our vows bilingually, and in Chinese, Lee called me jiaozi, and then in English, she translated that to dumpling boy. Uh, but yes, yesy, yesy, lushy. Okay, lushy. That's right, lushy. Huh. Like, what the? How would you translate that? Like, Happy West, something like that. But yeah, my wife's family has considered has have considered. I think it, have said maybe I should change it to Jiaozi, which I don't know if I can find the exact characters, but there's a word Jiaozi that would be more auspicious. But anyway, I don't really use my Chinese name that much anymore. So happy Westerner. Mandu people from Mantou. You're a friendly and smiley person. Okay. Well, I mean, that works. Okay, let me see if I can. So here is the situation. These forms are like really heavy because of the way that the old oblique is just super stupid heavy. It's just that way. That's how it is. And I did that deliberately. I just said, okay, we'll have one heavy suffix, and it has caused me thing. It has caused things to happen. But I think now we have situation where we've had a hiatus of we have sort of ad hoc deleted one which would 100% not be an issue in um in Dawn, because that would still remain distinct. Maybe we could keep some of these others. In Dusk, having that happen uh causes the forms to merge in a lot of verbs. So I think what I should do um is actually, let me grab Dusk words, just take all of the verbs here. Let's put this down and compare these side by side. If we were to, so this one would merge. Oh, my God, what's going on? What's going on? Okay. This one would not merge. This one would merge. This one is not merging. This is not merging. Not merging. Okay, this is interesting. I'm not sure why we're getting that happening. So we're getting this alternation between y and y and w. That's not merging. This one's not merging. Not merging. So we get the mergers are not as much of an issue as I thought. Kaswa versus kaswa. Okay. Trej Trejshwa, Trejshwa, and Trejwa. Okay. Okay, so no, I take that back. We could remove all of these ahs. And it would still not be merged. And there's even like a generalizable pattern. There's a couple of generalizable patterns. This actually isn't merging either. Okay, so I thought this was going to merge. Is this? This is not merged. Okay, so there's no murders happening. Okay. So that gives us a nominative and an accusative form. We can move the locative to an accusative form. And then if we have this, compare these forms side by side. And we might be able to just not reduce any of this. This is also not Tui Shui. Oh, Tui Shui. Wow, this is hard to pronounce. Oh my gosh. Tui Shui. Tui Shui. I need to fix that one. Um, 区学区学is fine, I think. Um, we could delete that. Tre Trejwa 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 Shwa versus Trejwa Swa. Trejwa versus Trejwa Wa. I think what happens is this S gets deleted, maybe irregularly. It's a true shui tongue twister. Yes. Uh, I the amount, just the sheer amount of shit in this language is of shit and all that is like kind of unexpected and like not what I was aiming for, but it kind of works. Yeah. So let's jump and let's pick out the like the example here. Pick out a resultative complement. So if we take a look at a resultative, and we do that now. That's dusk. Yeah, let's look in dawn. Yeah, I don't have a word for to call because that got X'd. Lure is what it turned into. How do you, what? Yeah, summon or beckon. Okay, so it's there. Oh, okay. No, in dusk it's turned into that. Okay. Okay, let's go with the dawn and it's B. So the way I had this was sort of similar to an English infinitive, right? Would have, so it would be bafu, bafusha. Should that be nominative or no? Oh, so bafu po, and then what is the pronoun that I use? We um p, and then we have kutuch, kutuch. What the heck? Chichi swa. And then deer. And if it's going to be the deer, it would be no, it's Bafu Bafu Pi Kuchiswa Kuchiswa Kuchiswa. What is that? Not that's not right. This is okay. Yeah, it's that was dusk. It should be yeah. Puchiswa Put Pu Puchiswa 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 Puchiswa. I think Puchiswa. Okay, so I think what should happen here is this. Let this coalesce into Puchiswa Puchiswa Shapat Shapatil Patil Shapatil Patil. Okay. Bafu Puchiswa Shapatil. I think that's actually super cool. I think this is what I'm going to do with all of these verbs is um we're all going to actually cause make a coalescence. So this would be a o yeah uh, yeah yeah. I think I like that better. And this is not a regular situation, right? Um, we could make it regular. Oh, that's great. Okay. Okay, so that's wonderful. That's going to be super fun. They're going to have lots of fun in preschool. Let's go. Uh, how, a friend named Trisoy. Okay, that's interesting. Triswa. Oh, it's Triswa. Okay. Okay. Ewan. Ewan sounds like an auspicious name. I think that there's probably Chinese people named Ewan. Ewan. That's that's definitely sounds like something somebody would give their child as a name. Um, yeah, I like the idea. Okay, so how do I not hit myself over the head with that? Uh, Puchashwe. Why is this Puchashwe? Puchashwe. Puchashwe. Puchashwa. Puchashwa. Okay. Yeah. So if I is there a way I could make that I don't see a way to make that happen except to just if I make it a rule. See, how are my vowels defined? Hey. Oh, that's not. Yeah, we're doing good. Okay. And then we're going to say if we have this is not low. This is and this will be plus tongue thrust. There we go. And then actually, so how do you do the variables again? So I would say not high. I'm not gonna let high vowels do this, but we can do uh so get the okay, so $sign, okay. See if this works. Oh, it's tongue height. The spellings are annoying. Jeez. Okay. Sure. No, I don't want that to happen. So what I want to do is actually put this here and this here because I want them to, if this, I want this to become not low. And then that should be good. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay. No, I don't want that to happen. What's going on here? So this one was so this became an A. So what is the situation with A that is causing it? Oh, okay. No, I can't do that. Okay, I see. I see. So I cannot. Yeah, so what I can do, let's try this and then a o okay. Okay. But this happens at the end of a word. And also, this is at the end of the word. And this one. 34. Okay, that's good. Now, we apply these, apply this. Oh, this is great. Okay, this actually sets up. These forms are semi-predictable, but not totally predictable, which is cool. Why did I? What is the error? What is the error? Okay, what is this error? Why is it? Why is what? What the heck is that? Okay, let me trace. Before I leave, I'm going to trace this one and see what the heck is going on here. Why is it low syllabic long low labial TT? So that shouldn't. Okay. When I take this out, what does that turn into? Ah, okay. So what is it trying to do that it is failing at? Plus low, plus Slavic, long. Okay. It should just be, it should just stay. It should just stay. Or O. Yeah, I'm just trying to fix this one issue with this. We didn't have any errors here, but we have an error for some reason. When we get and so we're supposed to it's supposed to become so, and then that low, this low should be cleared. So why is it still, why is it saying that it's plus low? That's the thing. It should not be plus low. Plus low, plus labial, plus syllabic. Is it because, oh, it's one of those things where trying to, I think so there's no symbol defined here, And that is making it freak out. So there's no symbol defined here for this sequence, but that shouldn't matter because that sequence is not in the output. So I think what happens is, I think what I have to do is take out this labial, and then we have we have to do a sequence like this where it is we do that. This makes it to the end. No. Okay. We have to have a then. Oh, I don't have time to deal with this. Okay. If I define a dummy, so if I go here and I go with this, this is going to be so dumb. I don't want to define a dummy just for this. Yeah, there's no... Okay, the only thing I could think is to separate this out so that if we have something that's not labial, then it just gets the fronting. If there's a labial, it's still not doing it. Syllabic long, low. Right. Is it just that I haven't? So plus low should be just a diacritic. The capital low. Okay, I really need to go. I'm just so like stuck on this, and I can't. I even have this. Okay, syllabic long, low, plus labial, plus tongue thrust. What is the difference here? Tongue thrust. Oh, it's tongue root. That's the thing that's holding me up. Did that fix it? No. Because it wouldn't. Oh, okay. So, not labial. Then we have plus labial, which is, this is plus labial, not low, plus tongue root. Apply. Finally. Okay, that's finally gets to what I want. Okay, I really need to go. I need to go grab this and put this in here. There we go. Shui. So that we get our shui. Shui. This is gonna change. This is gonna be an irregular change. I'll just deal with that. But export this. I think the fact that Dawn has more phonemes is the reason that it causes me so much more problems with sound changes. Everybody, see ya. I said this was going to be a shorter stream and it ended up being extra long. But anyway, got that fixed. Thank you everyone for watching and happy conlanging.